have so far. Lots of crosses, lots of corners into the box. Really putting a lot of pressure on that central block of Portishead.
Cherry's joint leading goal scorer with 11 so far, Gemma McGuinness, their new signing, along with Lucy Cooper, who's also bagged 11. And a great story as well, Gemma McGuinness, which we'll tell you about in a moment, because here come the Cherries again through Cooper. Touch was just a little heavy. That ball was really fired in there from Blizzard.
That's the quality that Helen gives you at the back there. Really great pass through the lines, and the centre-backs are going to have a lot of time on the ball today. We can see that already with the way Portishead are deeper, not really looking to press. So those passes from both her and Trewick are going to be an option to break down that compact block, and just a couple of inches away from being on Lucy Cooper's toe and in on the back line.
Gemma McGuinness works as a nutritionist when she's not playing football, and was over from Ireland in England last season, so played a little bit, had a short spell for Keynsham Town, and they played against the Cherries, and that is where Steve Cuss spotted Gemma McGuinness. And once he knew he was going to be able to go out and sign players over the summer, based on what he saw last season, he was straight on the phone to Gemma McGuinness. He couldn't turn down the opportunity. Lots of experience over in Ireland as well for the likes of Galway, where she was last playing. There's Jones to McGuinness, who already has 2 hat-tricks in amongst those 11 goals as well this season.
You must say Portishead marshalling her well at the moment, finding it difficult to come inside on her right foot in those spaces, really compact in that area. So credit to Portishead, look like they've done their homework in that area and made it much harder. It's very much that Jones has got round the outside of her as the main threat, and it's going to be important that Portishead can keep that concentration and that positioning up, because Gemma won't need many opportunities to get shots away on goal. And I will add as well that Gemma, around the sports nutritionist, just did some workshops with our girls teams over the course of October, and really gave some great advice to the 10s, 12s, 14s and 16s on how to look after their bodies. So really passing on her experience to the next generation as well.
And many of those players, younger players from the girls set-up here today, involved in the day, in the big occasion. Flag bearers, mascots, ball runners, all dotted around the pitch. The Cherry slogan, together anything is possible, very much in play today with everyone involved. Here come the Cherries down the right. Buckingham. Of course, with it being the 5th of November, the big slogan for the game today, sparks will fly. We've seen a few so far. Bournemouth, I think, yet really to get out of third gear. Here's Hillier. Couldn't quite keep it in.
I think the crowd will be enjoying the game so far. There was great pace to it, great tempo, great intent from the home side to get into opportunities to really get crosses in the box, to try and penetrate through the central areas, which we saw from Helen Blizzard's pass earlier. So I'm sure if you're sat here watching the game on the stream as well, you're really enjoying it.
There's McGuinness. Okay, great to have you there. Thanks for tuning in. Stream brought to you in association with ESET. Cherries 1-0 up through Maisie Smith, if you are just joining us a little late. We've had some good opportunities in there as well, both Hillier and Cooper before that. With the opportunity to give Bournemouth the lead. Some good defending though in this opening 15 minutes or so from Portishead. It was Maisie Smith. It was a bit of a scrappy goal. Second attempt, she was able to pop it into the back of the net and give the Cherries the lead. Here come Portishead. Rare venture into the Bournemouth half.
Those opportunities that we mentioned already on the counter-attack are going to be really important for them, and a little bit of a wasted opportunity there with an overhit pass to try and get near the Bournemouth backline that so far haven't been put under pressure.
Ennis Turner with the throw-in, one of Portishead's relatively new signings, arriving from Bristol Rovers. Here's Brindley. Late tackle in there from Buckingham. Free kick to Portishead, and the chance for them to deliver the ball into the Bournemouth box.
I'm pretty sure these were the types of opportunities that Portishead would have worked on in the build-up to this game. Any set pieces and opportunities to put Kaczynska in goal under pressure and try and play for second phase balls here as well. Going to be really important to get a good delivery on this.
Just the one-player wall for the Cherries. Captain Gemma Hillier. Kaczynski keen to get it lined up properly. And it's over towards the back post and not dealt with. And that's a big opportunity there for Portishead. Really difficult angle. Bournemouth not tracking their runners.
No, I think disappointed Steve will be in the way that was marked. Looked a little bit free in the area there. There was one that just before may have just reached it with a free header. So that's certainly something that Portishead will look for, and something that Bournemouth are going to want to sharpen up a little bit on.
And Portishead know that they won't get many of those opportunities probably this afternoon. You can see their frustration, because here come Cherries at the other end immediately. Cooper to the byline. It was Hillier at the front post waiting for it, and it'll be Hillier that was able to nick it back for Bournemouth. Vendito with a cross in. McGuinness, edge of the box. Trying a little bit of trickery, lifting the ball over the top. And Vendito backtracking quickly and does well. Signed from Brighton over the summer, Vendito. Still lives in West Sussex, has to make the 3-hour round trip twice a week for training to Bournemouth, and then don't forget match days as well. Jones, that's a nice run. Cooper. Buckingham. Jones has stayed forward from that run. Again, Portishead do well. Players back in numbers. Lindsay. Looking for the ball out to the right, and Hayward.
Maisie Smith there picking it up from midfield, running back. She'll run all day, Maisie Smith, and a real asset to this side. We've seen her score already, and now we've seen her try and tidy up at the other end. All action midfield player.
12th minute when Maisie Smith opened the scoring for the Cherries. It's a good tackle in there from Turner. And here's Lindsay again, looking for Hayward. Jones did really well there. The crowd appreciated that.
Won't want to be sloppy here, Bournemouth. Just an opportunity there where they drop the tempo right down. If they're going to look to do that, they're going to want to link some passes. And just too long on the ball then, just got caught. We really have to be aware of the threat that Portishead start to show on their counter-attacks, and we won't want to be giving them any opportunities like that.
Hayward heads over to the far side to take it. Headed away by Smith. There's Hillier. And McGuinness on her outside. Great play by Gemma McGuinness. And the switch is on for Bournemouth in space for Vendito. Buckingham ahead of her. Vendito finds the pass. Buckingham. That's a good cross towards the back post. Just too much on it for McGuinness, arriving late.
Great team move though, right from the back, from side to side, and working a good cross to the back post. Just a little bit on it. The crosses are just not quite connecting the way that they would like, but getting lots of opportunities to practice them, and I'm sure one will fall perfectly in a moment.
Hillier there again for Bournemouth, just to break up the play. Here's Buckingham looking for Cooper. Cooper showing where she wanted it and gets the shot away. Heading wide, not sure if there was a touch in there from Yasmin Davies. Goal kick signalled. See the replay of it here. You could see Cooper pointing where she wanted the ball. It wasn't really into her path, so she had to check her run a little bit. That allowed the defender to send her off onto a tight angle. And you have to say good defending again from Portishead. Davies, the goalkeeper, to take the goal kick. Wales under 17 international. Given away by Portishead. Here's Cooper to Buckingham. Buckingham, first time.
Disappointed with herself there. Alicia's one of the purest strikers of the ball in the squad. When she hits it, it really flies like a rocket. So she'll be just disappointed that perhaps just rushed that slightly, but really promising press that time. You can hear the Bournemouth bench encouraging them to press high and regaining and forcing a mistake to get an opportunity on goal.
Alicia Buckingham, not long back from a 4-year scholarship out in America, would have gained real big, valuable experience out there at the Kansas State University. Here's McGuinness. Again, immediately direct, running at the defenders. Lovely ball in, great header. Alicia Buckingham just couldn't get it wide enough of Yasmin Davies. Another good moment for the Cherries, and one back well by Vendito. Tempo just picking up here inside the Vitality Stadium. Buckingham. Late tackle in there, really late tackle on Buckingham. Waved away by the referee, and Buckingham stayed down. Play will continue. Brindley. Good tackle from James, and Vendito there as well. Maisie Smith to pick up the pieces. Smith looks up early. McGuinness is just holding her run over on the left. Cooper through the middle was found. Buckingham back up on her feet. Here is Buckingham. Deep cross towards McGuinness. Great finish from Gemma McGuinness. And what about that ball from Alicia Buckingham? Bournemouth double their lead.
Fantastic finish, volley at the back post, but what a cross from Alicia Buckingham. Slightly deeper position than perhaps the crosses have been so far, and just access that space in behind the Portishead line, but great finish and celebrating in front of this fantastic crowd. And big credit to those that are in here today. The noise when the goals go in have been exceptional.
Goal number 12 for the season for Gemma McGuinness, and she owes a big thanks to Alicia Buckingham, who put it on an absolute plate for her there. And again, you can just see what that means to Gemma McGuinness on the big stage in front of more than 6,000 in front of the North Stand. Bournemouth 2, Portishead Town Ladies 0. Live on AFC TV, the stream today being brought to you by ESET. Here's Buckingham again, who got herself up off the floor from that injury just in time to deliver that cross. Cooper. Still Cooper. Lovely feet from Cooper. And a great pass to the left in Buckingham.
Cooper looks really in the mood today. Sharp there, trying to take players on 1v1 and finding a great pass to Buckingham, who again would be disappointed slightly with the contact on the ball, but those front two, Alicia and Lucy, looking very threatening on this right-hand side here, and Gemma McGuinness adding to the goal-scoring chart there with the second goal. Just finding opportunities again a little bit easier than she did in the opening 10-15 minutes, and Portishead just slightly dropped their levels.
Corner to the Cherries on the far side. It'll be James to take. Headed away at the front post by Barrett. Back out to James. Can't get there. A little bit of a room for the break here for Portishead. Got Hayward through the middle. Lindsay as well. Here is Lindsay. It's read well by Abby Jones. Saw it coming, just dropped off a little bit. Kozinska, we mentioned her parents over from Poland for the game today. Former Birmingham and Huddersfield player before moving up to Scotland and Hibernia. Lived in Manchester still, I think, and commuted up and back over the border to play her football. Lovely ball with the outside of the right foot there from James. Tries of shoot as it just opened up for a moment there. Lindsay. Long ball looking for the run of Hayward. Hayward just checked to the right in the other direction. Kozinska did well there.
Those Portishead counter-attacks, you know, promising starts, but really struggling to penetrate anything in behind the Bournemouth back line, which they're cutting off with quite ease. So they might want to look at positional change, or in addition to a little bit of pace up in that back line, just to try and get an end product to some of the promising starts of the counter-attacks.
Just 12 goals scored this season for Portishead, 35 conceded. We mentioned earlier, 1 win and a draw for them. So they come down the left-hand side through Turner. That 1 win coming on the opening day of the season, opening game of the season for them, 4-2 over Torquay. And a 2-2 draw with Southampton women as well earlier on in the season.
Set piece for Bournemouth to defend in the box. Didn't quite get it as right as they would have liked the last time. So it'd be interesting to see how quickly they organise here and try and win those first contacts.
Alana Torrington, Portishead's Young Player of the Year back in 2019-20. Will take the corner. Again, it's a searching delivery. Good defending in there from Bournemouth. Buckingham with the second ball. Back out and sent back into the Bournemouth box. Charged down well by Troweek. And here's McGuinness, scorer of Bournemouth's second goal. Looking for Cooper at the outside of that right foot. Jones does well to get to the rebound. Maisie Smith with the first to open and scoring in the 12th minute. Gemma McGuinness doubling that lead for the Cherries. They've looked really comfortable so far, controlling the game, controlling the possession. Portishead with a couple of moments, one at the back post. Tamsin Hayward, I think it was, from a tight angle, couldn't get her shot on target at the other end. Other than that, it's been a relatively quiet afternoon for Daniela Kozinska in goal for the Cherries.
We see Bournemouth's ability there to counter-attack with the pace that they have in the side, defending from the corner, and then the moment after that as well with Troweek's brave block on the edge of the box. And before Portishead know it, they're having to defend on the edge of their box. So this team so far has shown us that they've got that when the space opens up, but they've also got the ability to break teams down with crosses and some little combination plays in the centre as well.
Just a bit tight for room there for Bournemouth on the edge of the box. Trying to work it out to the right. And Buckingham and James there as well. And Jones again, just a real quick turn of pace there. Brilliant defending from Jones.
And just another example there of that, just that lacking that little bit of speed in their forward line, Portishead, to turn the moments that they've had into something a little bit more promising. Bournemouth comfortable in dealing with anything around in their back line at the moment.
Buckingham with the ball to Hillier. Hillier looks up early, tries to find Smith on the edge of the box. Well dealt with by Gandhi Morgan. Recent signing from Bristol Rovers for Portishead. A lot of their players with links to Bristol Rovers, Bristol City and the University of Bristol as well. Bleezer. That left knee heavily strapped. A couple of players missing through injury today. Holly Humphreys, who was here with us on commentary for the game against Maidenhead last season, still making her way back from that nasty knee injury, ligament injury. And I think I'm right in saying, Dave, I saw her out on the pitch going through a few training routines ahead of the game, just soaking in the atmosphere, which was good to see.
Yeah, Holly's had to show real patience coming back from an ACL reconstruction and is starting to do some more pitch work now, which is really, really pleasing to see. Ellie Elkins, another player missing out today with a foot injury. Gutted for Ellie that she picked that up in the FA Cup. Another young player that's come through our youth team, played in the game at the stadium last year. So we wish her a quick recovery as well.
Yeah, Steve Cuff speaking about that ahead of the game, how gutted he was for Ellie. So close to this big day today in front of the big crowd. Here's Buckingham, who provided the assist for McGuinness's goal. Bournemouth second with a quite lovely cross from the right-hand side. It's Vendito. Good tackle from Vendito. Mentioned her having to travel far to get to training and games, particularly home games. Also balancing playing for Bournemouth with a degree as well at the moment. Here's McGuinness over on the left. Good cross in from McGuinness, well dealt with again by Portishead.
Just again, we alluded to it earlier in the day that they had so many players around McGuinness in the early stages, making it difficult for her to come in on her right foot. That just appears to have waned a little bit, and she's starting to get a little bit more joy.
Jones' delivery into the box. Here's Cooper trying to turn away and find room for the shot. Being very closely marked this afternoon, Lucy Cooper. And she'll be keen to get her goal as well. We mentioned earlier, her and Gemma McGuinness coming into the game level on 11 goals. McGuinness now on 12. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of a battle in the dressing room for the top goal scorer come the end of the season. Still a long way to go, of course.
It's a very competitive group in there. You should see the training sessions. When one scores, the other one's desperate. We've got so much scoring in this team.
There's Buckingham with the cross again. May have been a shot, I'm not quite sure. Sure she could really make up her mind in terms of what to do in the end. We just see the replay. I think that might well have been a shot from Buckingham. Just curling away from goal.
The worrying thing for Portishead is she's having lots of opportunities. The third strike there that, again, she'd like to think she'd do a little bit better with, but the opportunities are starting to open up, and with the types of players and the attributes they have in our forward line, you don't want to be presenting them with too many opportunities because they will get it right at some point.
That's a good ball forward, looking for the run of Turner. And Kaczynska did really well out on the edge of her own 18-yard area, read the play, and then had to scramble back as well when it looked like something might develop for Portishead. As it is, Bournemouth will try their luck at the other end through Hillier. Here comes Buckingham on the overlap. Buckingham. That not one of her better crosses from what we've seen so far in the high standards she set this afternoon. And just looking at the way Portishead are defending, a lot of attention on the likes of Lucy Cooper and Gemma McGuinness. You just wonder whether that has allowed Buckingham a little bit more space this afternoon, which she has well and truly exploited.
Yeah, definitely, Jordan. I think Buckingham's had so much room down here, and I'd like to see Olivia Vendito come and join a little bit more on that side as well. And I just feel sometimes there's a little bit of a rush to cross, and Portishead have defended the crosses so well in general, and we had the great one for McGuinness's goal, but they've defended the box really, really well. So we might just want to mix that up a little bit. We're trying to get some central combinations as well, and getting the fullbacks involved, as we've seen with Jones on the left-hand side in combination with McGuinness.
Hillier. 3,067 was the record attendance for an AFC Bournemouth women's game ahead of today. That Maidenhead game we spoke about last season. It's well and truly doubled this afternoon. Here's Cooper. Good run from Cooper. Been busy at both ends today so far. And again, that gets the crowd going behind that goal in the north stand way to our right. Be another chance for Katie James to deliver. James to the front post, flicked on by Blizzard and over the bar.
Difficult to get a connection to send the ball towards goal there with the narrowness of the cross, but she's such a threat in the box. Also penalty taker for this Cherry side with 8 goals from centre back. A real asset, not just in the way she plays out, as we mentioned earlier, but also her aerial ability.
Maisie Smith and Gemma McGuinness with the goals that give Bournemouth that 2-0 lead. With 8 minutes to go until half-time. Been a very controlled performance from the Cherries so far.
See, Portishead's shape here, very difficult for us to play through centrally on this side, so the spaces are coming out wide as we see Jones on the ball now. Just interesting if they talk about that at half-time, around trying to open up some opportunities like the one we've just seen there that didn't quite connect, to try and get inside that mid-block that they have in the centre and create some much clearer goal-scoring opportunities.
Vendito with the tackle. Sport and exercise psychology, the degree that she's just started at Solent University. Managing that alongside football and a lot of travelling as well. Sounds like a lot of work for Olivia Vendito. Here's Hillier. Friends and families for all the players in today as well. As you'd expect for such an afternoon. Here's McGuinness, found well by Jones. Cooper lurking inside the area. It's back to Jones. And another corner. Good
recovery there from the Portishead defender. Just not making that pass as clear from McGuinness as it could have been. Big credit to Portishead. I know they find themselves 2-0 down at this stage heading towards half-time, but have really had a clear game plan, have stuck to that and have made things difficult. But you know, a game plan is only as good as the player's execution, and their manager will be delighted with the way they've put their bodies on the line so far.
James delivers, looking for the head of Maisie Smith. Another good delivery from Bournemouth. Stoppage there for a head injury.
It's great to have so many of our youth team players here today, Jordan. So we have a great pathway for women and girls football here at the club, and something we've worked really hard on over the last 5 or 6 years. Last season saw the introduction of a FA Emerging Talent Centre that we run here that sits just below our girls' side. So it's a really great addition to our pathway, alongside our 10s and 12s in our foundation phase, playing in the local Hampshire Girls Youth League and giving them a great footing into the club. And days like this for those young players, we saw the 10s as mascots, bringing the players out, are days that they'll never forget, but also days that future and the way that this club wants to move forward, the opportunities hopefully for them as to what they can achieve. And for our 14s and 16s in the Junior Premier League, a little bit closer to this first team, these days are really aspirational for them, and we're really proud of how well the girls in the first team here and in our women's development side as well, who are also unbeaten this season, really shine for those young players to come through. And days like this are a great showpiece event to not just show off the team that are playing so well in front of us, but also the whole pathway that we have here that we've worked so hard for.
And they've been treated to some really good football so far, as you're just watching replays of that second goal for Bournemouth there, scored by Gemma McGuinness on your screens. Some real quality from the Cherries in this game so far, particularly as we've already spoken about that delivery from Alicia Buckingham there to put it on a plate for McGuinness to score her 12th of the season. Don't get too many easier finishes than that this season. Still got to stick it in the back of the net as we get back underway here. Dave mentioning the setup here from top to bottom in terms of the women's team. Let's come back to that, because here's Cooper, still Cooper, lovely touch from Cooper, just taking her a bit too far wide. And good defending again from Portishead. Last ditch stuff back on the goal line.
I mean, Portishead celebrating that one like they scored themselves in that back line, and that's that team spirit that they've shown throughout. Cooper looking very, very sharp though.
Hillier it was with the ball. It looked initially like a really good touch from Cooper to take it past the goalkeeper Davies, just too much on the touch in the end. No way that she was going to score from that angle. Dave mentioning the progression and the growth, something Bill Foley, Bournemouth chairman and Omen, has spoken about in the matchday programme today. Described the growth of the women's setup as fantastic. Call on the supporters to make themselves heard today as well, and they've certainly done that so far, more than 6,000 inside the ground. Cleared at the back by Holloway.
Jones there with a deeper cross. I quite like the idea of the deeper crosses. As we mentioned already, we've seen the cross from Alicia Buckingham for McGuinness coming from slightly deeper. Those are possibly better avenues than getting closer to the touchline, just with how well Portishead have defended that box. You want to try and drop it into spaces behind them that allow your 4 players to attack at speed and beat the back line to the ball.
Davies with the goal kick. Smith beaten to the header by Gandhi Morgan. Here's Lindsay. $140-mile, 2-hour roughly trip for Portishead from Somerset today. If you're wondering where Portishead is, not far from Bristol. If you've ever travelled over to Wales on the Severn Bridge and look to your left, it's pretty much Portishead Town in the distance. Opposite Newport on the other side of the River Severn. And it's been quite a journey for them as well. Portishead Town Ladies up through the leagues. 3 consecutive promotions to eventually find themselves at this National League level.
We'll want to make the most of this set piece here. We've seen them look threatening in those areas already, with a couple of minutes to go till half time. You wouldn't imagine there'd be lots of added time as Amber Turek picks up a yellow card for the tackle there. This is a good opportunity to give them that little bit of boost going into the second half. If they can reduce the scoreline here, we'll definitely see them come out with a different game plan potentially in the second half.
Portishead not happy with that tackle. Can they find themselves a goal just before half time? Torrington will be the player to take it. Brindley still in the air of referee Phoebe Horner. Torrington to deliver. Headed backwards towards her own goal there, and Kozinska managed to keep it in, trying to avoid the corner. Nearly allowed Portishead to pounce. Will be a corner in the end. More defending for the Cherries to do at the end of this first half. Blizzard it was whose header went back towards her own goal. That's a better header away by Blizzard. Long ball looking for Cooper, who's desperately sprinting to try and get on the end of it, and does well, does Cooper. And there's a good tackle in there from Jakowski, using all of our experience.
From one corner to the other. Again, that counter-attacking threat that we have here. We'll be looking to try and go 3-0 up here.
Buckingham to deliver into first half stoppage time. Bournemouth lead through goals from Smith and McGuinness. Can they find a third just before the break? Buckingham to the front post. Hillier, good tackle from Hillier. First one was, second one a little late. Gemma Hillier back at AFC Bournemouth after a couple of years away in Dubai, where she was working as a teacher. Stayed in contact with Steve Cuss, did the Cherries captain while she was away. And then the minute Steve Cuss knew that she was returning, he was desperate to re-sign her. Back working as a PE teacher now at the Fareham Academy in Hampshire. Here's McGuinness, still McGuinness, off the crossbar, back out to Buckingham. Oh, what a goal that would have been by Gemma McGuinness. Deserved more. Lovely run down the left, great strike. Very nearly 3 for the Cherries. Still they search for that third before half-time. James will deliver the corner this time. Over the head of Blizzard in there. And there is the half-time whistle from referee Phoebe Horner. And the more than 6,000 inside the ground have enjoyed that first half from Steve Cuss's side. They'll take a 2-0 lead into the dressing room at the break. Goals from Maisie Smith and Gemma McGuinness give them that cushion, and it could quite easily have been more, particularly right at the end of the first half there. Gemma McGuinness nearly adding a second for herself and a third for Bournemouth, rattling the crossbar. There have been a couple of moments for Portishead at the other end. Kozinska still yet to be really tested though in terms of shots on target. Let's just take a look at the goals again for you. Here's the first for Maisie Smith. Scrappy in the end, but Smith won't mind.
The goalkeeper makes a great save there. It's unfortunate the way it bounces straight out into the space where no Portishead player is, and you don't ask questions if you're Maisie, so you just tap that in.
It was a really good save from Davies initially, just couldn't get up quick enough. Smith at the second attempt. And we mentioned it earlier, in front of the North Stand as well, the noise inside the Vitality Stadium when that goal went in.
And when you're in form, they seem to fall for you, don't they? That's exactly the way Maisie would have wanted, and a great start to the team.
See what it means to the players there as well, celebrating with the fans. 4 for Smith in the FA Cup last time out, another one today, 7 for the season for her now. And that set Bournemouth on their way. Have been some moments at the other end. This was that chance for Portishead, perhaps their best of the game, falling at the back post. A really tight angle into the side netting.
Yeah, I think set pieces will be something that Steve Cuss is doing it at half-time, just to tidy up a little bit.
And then the second for ball at the back post after a beautiful ball in from the right from Alicia. Pinpoint accuracy, one touch, shifted out of her feet. And a nice little side-footed finish from McGuinness. So 12 for the season now for McGuinness, Bournemouth's top goal scorer. Dave, so far so good for the Cherries.
Absolutely, Steve will be delighted first of all with the scoreline, really taking control of that and really taking control of the game. I know Portishead have had some moments where they look like they might be able to launch some counter-attacks, but just don't have the physical attributes to match the Bournemouth backline. So it's been quite comfortable for Bournemouth, both in and out of possession. I imagine there'll be a little bit of frustration that we've not managed to sustain a few more attacks and really pin Portishead back for longer periods through increased possession of the ball. Lots of crosses from wide areas, lots of opportunities that have come from those crosses, but nothing really clear-cut enough that Steve will be looking for at this stage. So I think that's certainly an area they'll address. Can we open up Portishead a little bit more in the centre as well as down the sides to just create some more clear-cut chances closer to goal?
Dave, thanks very much. More from Dave Stadden to come in the second half. Don't go anywhere. There's going to be, I'm sure, more goals to come here at the Vitality Stadium. But at half-time in the Women's National League, it's Bournemouth 2, Portishead Town 0. Welcome back to the Vitality Stadium, where AFC Bournemouth women find themselves 2-0 up at half-time against Portishead Town Ladies in the Women's National League, Division 1 Southwest. Cherries top of the table, a 100% record from their 8 games so far, and they've been continuing that this afternoon. Goals from Maisie Smith and Gemma McGuinness in the first half give them that lead, and McGuinness rattled the crossbar in first half stoppage time as well. Could quite easily have been 3. We're just waiting for the players to come back out here for the second half. It's a glorious day in Dorset, sun shining, blue skies overhead. More than 6,000, maybe even close to 7,000 inside the ground as well. More than 6,000 tickets sold, and tickets still available ahead of the game today as well for any supporters that turned up on the day of the match. Here come the Cherries out for the second half, led by captain Gemma Hillier, who's marshalled things in the middle of the park so far. I'm Jordan Clark. Thanks for joining us on the live stream on AFCB TV, brought to you in association with ESET. AFC Bournemouth Women's Development Manager Dave Stadden here with us for commentary as well this afternoon. Dave, it was a good, controlled first half from the Cherries, and I'm sure the message from Steve Cuss will be more of the same, please, in the second. Absolutely,
in complete control of the game, both scoreline, territory and possession. Been really, really pleasing first half. They'll just be looking to go out now and carry that form on and just show a little bit more quality in that final third to really open up this game and opportunities to score more goals. And the goal difference is going to be important potentially in this division, with Exeter and ourselves both currently unbeaten and 100% records, and them leading 4-1 at half-time at home to Keynsham today. So really important that we take those opportunities to keep expanding that goal difference.
And Dave, you've been for a wander around at half-time, great atmosphere in the stands, and we've got young, old, families, brothers, sisters, mums, dads, all in for this big game today.
Absolutely, it's brilliant to see so many around. You see young girls here that perhaps don't come and watch on a Saturday in shirts that are 3 sizes too big, so it used to belong to their brother, but they've got names on the back. I saw a Scadding shirt out in the crowd as well, which is fantastic. And that's these role models that these girls are, and hopefully we can inspire more to get involved in this wonderful game.
Steve Cuss highlighting in his pre-match press conference ahead of the match about the opportunity it was for his players out there on the pitch, not just to enjoy it for themselves, but to inspire the next generation of AFC Bournemouth supporters, but maybe even AFC Bournemouth women's players as well. And they've gone a long way to doing that so far. Bill Foley, the Bournemouth chairman, very proud in his pre-match programme notes of everything that the AFC Bournemouth women's team is achieving and has achieved as well over the last couple of years in their rapid growth, as they look to work their way up through the leagues, up through the football pyramid. Mentioned Exeter City there as well. Bournemouth's next league game is a top of the table clash against Exeter City. They'll have to wait until December for it, at home at Ringwood, as referee Phoebe Horner gets us back underway in the second half. No changes for either side that I noticed at half-time. Here's James, who's had a good game in the middle of the Bournemouth midfield as well this afternoon, to Jones. See the water just spraying up off the ball there, heavily watered at half-time, the pitch, despite all the rain we've had recently. Cherries and Steve Cuss like a nice slick surface to play their football on. And credit to Portishead Town, defended really well, really strongly in that first half. Slight change in formation for them in the game, with 5 at the back, just to try and counteract Cherries' front 3. Let me do the 2 teams for you then. So Bournemouth with Daniela Kaczynska in goal, a back 4 of Vendito, Blizzard, Treweek and Jones, a midfield 3 of James, Hillier and Smith, who scored Bournemouth's opening goal, and Buckingham, Cooper and McGuinness, the attacking 3 for Bournemouth. Cooper through the middle, McGuinness down the left and Buckingham down the right. The Cherries bench and options for Steve Cuss in this second half, should he need them: Molly Barron-Clark, Kelly Fripp, Molly Gladwell, Chloe Gilroy and Shannon Aubrey. No substitute goalkeeper for Steve Cuss this afternoon, but great to see Katie Scadding still here supporting the squad. Of course, played in the home fixture here, the 0-0 draw against Maidenhead last season, and she was out as well doing the rounds at half-time speaking to supporters. Portishead Town, they have Yasmin Davies in goal. Bournemouth come down the right and they look for Cooper. Just a little bit too much on the ball. Good defending in there from Jakowski. And put out a play for a corner. So they're back five then. Holloway is the right wing back, Turner the left wing back, Jakowski, Barrett and Hilton Jones, a former Bournemouth player herself, the three central defenders for Portishead this afternoon. A midfield three of Gandhi, Morgan, Torrington and Brindley. Then Emily Lindsay is just in behind Tamsin Hayward, who leads the line for Portishead. Corner in from Bournemouth, headed down. Bleasard was in there, Truique as well. One back well by McGuinness, who pulls the trigger early. That one always just swinging away from goal slightly. Didn't quite catch it cleanly, Gemma McGuinness. But give her half a yard and she will not wait to take the opportunity.
Yeah, not the player that they would have wanted that ball to have fallen to during that little phase of play, clearing the corner there, and just didn't quite catch it cleanly, as we know she can. And I think she'll be feeling slightly disappointed she's not at least hit the target there. She's the ability that she's got.
James has Buckingham down the line. Hillier's there as well, searching for Hillier. Good clearance in there and away by Jakowski. Here's Hillier, found by Vendito.
Slightly slower start in possession here from Bournemouth, and I mean that in the most positive way of just having a little bit more time on the ball, just stroking the ball around, trying to open up Portishead a little bit with a little more controlled, slower tempo to then try and quicken it up in the final third, which we nearly saw there from Hillier moving that ball past into Buckingham.
Sub options on the bench for Portishead: Phoebe Tate, Chelsea Heel and Ruby Hopkins. Former manager Chris Robinson. Hands in pockets over on the far side. Steve Cuss as well. It's a chilly old November afternoon here at the Vitality Stadium, despite the sunshine. Most of the pitch now in shadow. Cooper.
Again, James choosing to slow the game down there and gain the control of the ball. I quite like how they've started here, Bournemouth.
And there's space for James just to turn and face the opposition goal. Finds Cooper, nice pass. Will it ricochet out towards Hillier? It will, but she can't get on the end of it. Good goal in there from Davies. And a bit of room for Portishead in the middle of the park. Ball down the right, looking for the run of Hayward. Crowd confirmed 6,805, a new record for AFC Bournemouth women here at the Vitality Stadium. Nearly 7,000 in for the game today. What a brilliant number, Dave.
Oh, fantastic. And a huge credit to the club here and the amount of work that they've put into bringing the crowd up, and the marketing and the commercial that they've brought towards this. It really has been.
Well done from Kaczynska in there, scrambling away to her left, and a good block as well.
Really has been a whole club effort to get that crowd in today, and a lot of people deserve a big pat on the back.
Brindley with the shot for Portishead. Good effort on goal. Dealt with in the end by Bournemouth, but just a warning for the Cherries, despite having controlled the game so far. Portishead dangerous at the other end. Dealt with well there on the 6-yard area. Cross will come back in from Gandhi Morgan. Good tackle and good defending by Hilton Jones. Gandhi Morgan down the right. Jones is there for the Cherries. Here's Hillier.
Portishead well positioned to deal with any counter-attack there, which is why it's just had to slow down slightly. Clear foul there. But again, a real big praise Portishead's mentality here today, and then their organisation. And they've started the second half as they applied themselves in the first half, really, making things very difficult for Bournemouth to open them up.
Yeah, finished 7th in the league last season, Portishead, 18 points behind the Cherries in 4th. Bournemouth, of course, with that Hampshire Senior Cup win as well last season. Penalty win over Southampton. Good way to end the campaign.
Looking to defend that title, and for John Portsmouth in the next round, and the opening round for us in that game on the 19th of November, taking place at Ringwood. So if you're wanting to come on down, entry for that will be free. It'd be great to see some more of you down at that crowd.
Long range effort from McGuinness. Comfortable one for Davies to deal with. Yeah, Bridgewater to come next for the Cherries in the FA Cup first round at Ringwood as well. That game on the 12th of November. £6,000 in prize money up for grabs as well. That competition starts to get serious. And the Pompey game, and then that big one against Exeter at Ringwood as well. And the Cherries, I'm sure, will be grateful for all the support. Here come Portishead again. They've started the second half quite brightly. Good run down the left-hand side by Ellie Brindley, who had that shot a few moments ago. Bright for Portishead in the opening stages of this second half. Another recent sign, relatively recent signing for Portishead from Bristol City. And that will give them from a bad ACL injury as well, Brindley.
That attack there, John, will give them a lot of encouragement, actually. First time they've actually managed to get in behind the Bournemouth back line and get a shot at goal, albeit marked closely by Vendito, but an opportunity just to try and stretch in behind.
A couple of changes coming up here as well. Lucy Hilton-Jones heading off for Portishead. And Maisie Smith, scorer of Bournemouth's first goal. Got things up and running for the Cherries this afternoon, heading off as well. Molly Barron-Clark on for the remainder of this game. Phoebe Tate's come on and will take this throw-in for Portishead. Tough tackling Phoebe Tate, according to the Portishead Town website. So McGuinness will have her work cut out down this left-hand side. Molly Barron-Clark, another one of Bournemouth's England beach soccer players. Here's McGuinness, lovely feet from McGuinness, driving run, back out to Hillier, shoots from range. Late tackle by McGuinness in there. There'll be a free kick to Portishead. That may well be Tate that's gone down injured. No, Tate's on her feet, having just come on. Laura Barrett, the captain it is, who's that nasty catch of the ankles there from McGuinness. Just a late tackle. She's sliding in for the ball. Back up on her feet, looks like she's going to be okay. Laura Barrett. We mentioned the link to University of Bristol in terms of a number of these players. Barrett, one of those, signed by Portishead from the University of Bristol side. Here's James, one back well in the middle of the park. That came at her at some pace, controlled it well, did James, and that opened things up for Bournemouth down the right. And Buckingham, another searching delivery, looking for Hillier on the 6-yard area. Good defending from Barrett, who's still feeling the effects of that tackle from McGuinness on her ankle.
A deep cross there from Buckingham, similar position to where she crossed for McGuinness in the first half, and something we spoke about just before half-time. I think crosses from that area with a little bit more room in behind the Portishead backline, their goalkeeper, could be a real threat.
That's the voice of Dave Stadden, AFC Bournemouth's women's development manager, here with us on AFCB TV. Good cross in, looking for McGuinness. Back out to James. McGuinness again. Quick feet from McGuinness, shifting the ball to James, and then Hillier, and Barron-Clark joins in as well. It's the one goal so far this season for Molly Barron-Clark. On is a second half substitute for Steve Cuss's side. And they've done plenty of research on Portishead Town. Steve Cuss saying that in the build up to the game, largely thanks to the analysts that he's able to call upon from Bournemouth University. And again, we see that partnership with the club working well. The press box today as well, full with some sports journalism students from Bournemouth University, as Portishead come forward again. Good clearance at the back by Treweek.
An important little tackle there on the ground from Blezard, just stopping what was really good opportunity there if they were able to poke that through centrally. And I think Steve Cuss, I can see him down on the touchline there, just trying to raise the level of the girls here a little bit. I think he'd be a little bit disappointed with the quality and a little bit of our intent moving forward. We mentioned that the tempo might be slightly slower to control the game a little bit more in possession, but just missing that little bit of intent to move it quicker through the lines when that's right to do so.
A feature in the match day programme today on Helen Blizzard, who put that sliding tackle in a moment ago. Her ultimate dinner party and guests. David Beckham, Adele, Michael McIntyre, Steve Irwin. As McGuinness comes down the right, dinks a little ball into the box. Dealt with well by Davies. And Gordon Ramsay, who would no doubt supply the cooking, I'm sure, for Helen Blizzard. Lots of attention on the AFC Bournemouth women's team at the moment. You heard Dave mention the marketing and the publicity. They've been all over social media in the build-up to the game, and it's great to see. And that is why we've got nearly 7,000 supporters inside the ground to see them in action today, and I'm sure many watching them for the first time.
The new Twitter, or X account as it is now, AFC Bournemouth W, the new home for everything AFC Bournemouth women here. So if you got your phone there, tap that in and give yourselves a good follow.
And there will be reaction from this game up on the AFC Bournemouth website and on the social media accounts as well, and that Twitter account that Dave just mentioned as Portishead come down the right. Here's Hayward. Game's just slowed down a little bit in terms of tempo compared to what we saw in the first half. Kozinska. Moved to England at the age of 17, Bournemouth's goalkeeper. It's had a pretty quiet afternoon so far in between the sticks. Blizzard clears from the back. Long-range effort. A comfortable catch for Kozinska, who was spotted off her line there. Amber Tariq. Paul Bourne. Given away, and here's a chance for Portishead to work it down the right to Hayward. Sliding tackle from Jones, ball's not dealt with, Hayward's still there. Blizzard clears at the back. And the home supporters just sensing Portishead on top here for a moment, enjoying perhaps their best passage of the game so far.
Absolutely, with Bournemouth looking to open the game more through a more controlled possession style. That's going to bring the risk with it if you give the ball away, particularly in central areas with how open you might be. And Portishead just taking advantage of that a little bit in that moment there. And definitely enjoying their best spell of the half.
So final two substitutions coming up for Portishead. So we're going to see Chelsea Hill and Ruby Hopkins coming on for the remainder of the match. About half an hour left to go. Shannon Holloway heading off, and Tamsin Hayward down in front of us as well.
All of the substitutes now used for Portishead, so a big half an hour to maintain the concentration of those that have remained on the pitch from the first minute. Will come under pressure as Bournemouth's attacking bench, I'm sure, will be used as well, just to make sure that they can keep compact, keep things difficult and not lose that concentration.
Bringing on pace and composure in the form of Chelsea Hill, the fullback, who likes to question referee decisions, apparently, so Phoebe Horner may well have her work cut out in the middle for this final half an hour. Here are Bournemouth. Baron Clark just couldn't shift it out of her feet quick enough there. Portishead will come through the middle through Brindley, who's been a real bright spark for Portishead in this second half. So a deflected shot which had Kozinska scrambling across her goal. Still Bournemouth lead by 2-0 through Maisie Smith and Gemma McGuinness in the first half as they search for that third. Portishead have been able to keep the Cherries pretty quiet in the second half so far. Baron Clark to Hillier to James. Time for James to look up and find the return pass to Hillier. Here's Buckingham. And how dangerous her deliveries can be. Heavy touch from Buckingham, and you can see the frustration on her face there as she looks to the sky.
Seems to be a change of shape here for Portishead. A back four now since the substitute. A midfield three with 18, is it there, playing in the 10 position, and a couple of wingers and a striker. So an interesting change-up for them here, and perhaps sensing at their strongest moment in the game, they want to put a little bit of pressure back on Bournemouth by leaving their wingers a little bit higher and being able to play forward with a bit more threat.
Yeah, so Chelsea Heald's come on at left back, and Phoebe Tate, the other fullback, to come on in this second half at right back, to leave Jakowski and Barrett as your two central defenders. There's Lucy Cooper. Good defending again from Portishead. Barrett. Brindley just dropping deep from that 10 roll. Given away. Hillier finds Cooper, pushed wide. Deflected and will go behind for a corner.
Just got caught there trying to play out through midfield. Will be very careful. Portishead now, they've opened the game up slightly with their formation. But I do like the way that they've set up today and taken this brave step now with just around half an hour still to go to get back in the game.
Did look like it came off of Barrett there from our angle, but just off the outside of Cooper's right boot, so will be a goal kick. And another change coming up for Bournemouth. Buckingham coming off, Molly Gladwell making her way onto the pitch to a great reception from the Cherries fans. And Alicia Buckingham can be pretty pleased with her afternoon's work as well, supplying the assist for Bournemouth's second to Gemma McGuinness.
Gladwell will move to the left wing, and we see McGuinness move over to the right. Gladwell, a player that's naturally left-footed, possesses loads and loads of pace. A good eye for goal, is the captain for our college side, which I mentioned, based out at Brockenhurst. So be looking to make a real impact in this game, having played here last year, and would be desperate to score, I'm sure.
Given away, is it, by Portishead? Not quite. Well recovered by Gandhi Morgan. And Barrett will dribble out from the back. Good play, good driving run from Barrett. Gets the ball back again here. The Portishead skipper. That was nearly a decent ball.
See there a threat in the Bournemouth back line with the three players now high. Nearly got that through, but great positioning from Vendito to cut that off.
It's another ball forward here, looking for the run of Turner. Good defending by the two Cherry central defenders.
One touch away from an opportunity there. If she could just poke that through to the on-rushing striker, then it might have led to a shot at goal.
Baron Clark. McGuinness outside. Can't find McGuinness. Again, Portishead win it back, and they're just growing in confidence with every minute that passes of this game so far. Vendito, who is a midfielder usually, Olivia Vendito, doing a very decent job at right back this afternoon. And we mentioned her education and degree she's doing at the moment. Also has a GCSE in Mandarin as well. If she ever needs to head out on a pre-season tour to China with the Cherries, it'll be most useful.
I'm pretty sure she'll be the only one in the team with that sort of qualification.
Goal kick to Portishead. It's now 60 goals this season for Bournemouth across all competitions. 44 in the league. Still just the 6 conceded. It has been some campaign so far. Biggest win in the league coming on the opening day of the season. 13-0 against Selsey. Ball in, looking for Cooper, who has got 11 of those goals so far.
James looking for something extremely spectacular there. I know we saw a fantastic goal with Philip Billing here a few weeks ago, maybe looking to take some inspiration from that from a long way out.
No doubt. Difficult afternoon for the men's team away at Manchester City yesterday, but last time out here at the Vitality Stadium. That Phil Billing goal sealing the win for them against Burnley. Here come Portishead again, looking for the run of Turner. Lindsay was in the middle, good defending by Jones, but given away to Gandhi Morgan. Here's Turner again, Brindley. Late tackle on Brindley, play on says the referee. Ruby Hopkins the substitute in possession now for the visitors.
Will be disappointed they didn't work a shot or a more promising opportunity there, working their way into the central areas of that final third. Be so disappointed, even a long range effort or something just to give them that attacking momentum heading into the final 20 or so minutes of the game.
Jones finds James, marshalling things again in front of the back four. Ball through the middle, finds the feet of Baron Clark. Early cross, looking for Cooper.
Just see there the position that Baron Clark picks that ball up. Big space in between the midfield unit and the defensive unit.
That falls nicely for Gandhi Morgan and sets Turner away. Jones had to recover quickly.
Another promising opportunity there from Portishead. A very close offside call just going against us there, but here's that space between those lines again. Can Bournemouth take advantage of those?
James finds Cooper. Again, Cooper just pushed wide. 3-4 occasions so far this afternoon. Lucy Cooper, when she has found herself inside the 18-yard area with the ball at her feet, very quickly she's been nudged to a tight angle. Change coming up for the Cherries. Chloe Gilroy, another one of the new signings over the summer, was signed from their big rivals in the league this season, Exeter. Lucy Cooper's afternoon is done. And if you get the chance, we mentioned it earlier, it is well worth a listen. The latest AFC Bournemouth official podcast. Lucy Cooper sat down with Neil Perrott and Zoe Rundle. Speaks really well, does Lucy Cooper. A bookworm and a big music fanatic as well, who turned down the opportunity to move to a side at a higher level over the summer, went and trained with another team, but felt that it just wouldn't feel right pulling on a number 9 shirt. It wasn't black and red with AFC Bournemouth on the front. She's been with Bournemouth a long time, handed her debut by Steve Cuss as soon as he could at the age of 16. And now under contract as well. Bournemouth look to protect their best assets. And I'm pretty sure it was faint in the background, but the attendance, I think, has just been announced over the speakers here. Pretty well with the home crowd of 6,805 supporters. Here's Hillier, lovely ball. Hillier through on goal. Just straight at the goalkeeper.
Fantastic opportunity, and gaps starting to open up now in this Portishead defensive structure. Great run forward, sniffing out the opportunity, and that's what Jem will do. Very intelligent footballer. Great pass by Katie James, and should be disappointed not to have found the back of the net, but good goalkeeping closing down the angles there.
Hillier to McGuinness. James back to McGuinness. Edge of the box. James is going to shoot. Good block in there from Barrett. Jones will pick up the second ball. Still Jones, weaving run. Still Jones. Surely not. Great save down low to the left by Davies. What a run that was from Abby Jones. Really deserved the goal at the end of it. James winning the ball back well again in the middle of the park for Bournemouth. Gilroy. Vendito to McGuinness. Nice feet and turn of pace there from McGuinness. Finds Baron Clark. And a chance for Portishead on the break, perhaps.
Overlap here on the side.
Can't find Turner, just missing that final moment of quality. Danger still not over for the Cherries. Lindsay again. Back heel to Turner. One back by Bournemouth in Hillier.
Crowd starting to get up in this game with a little bit of end-to-end action at the moment. I'm sure that's just going to energise some of those Bournemouth legs. A big pitch here. Great occasion. Lots of adrenaline running through the body. Mr. Steve has freshened the side up, and I know that those 3 players on so far will be looking to make a great impact as the game starts to open up a little bit.
We just see that chance for Abby Jones again. It was a brilliant run all the way to the 6-yard box near enough. Just not quite enough power behind the finish. That allowed Davies to make a good save down low to our left. Kaczynska just has to sort her feet out there on the edge of her own box. Great to have you there on the live stream this afternoon, brought to you in association with ESET here on AFCB TV. It's the voice of Dave Stadden alongside myself, Jordan Clark, Dave, the Women's Development Manager. Bags of knowledge which has been able to pass on to us about the women's setup this afternoon, as well as we continue to learn about this side. Jones at the back post. Oh, she'll be really disappointed with that one.
Best move of the half there for the home side. Jones really coming into the game in the last 5 minutes. Controlled possession, moving from side to side. Jones exploding forward off a runner that wasn't tracked, and a good opportunity to extend the lead further.
Still those 2 first half goals. It's been a difficult second half for the Bournemouth in terms of opportunities. And the ones they have had, they haven't taken 2. You just seen there from Abby Jones. It's still the goals from Maisie Smith and Gemma McGuinness that give the Cherries the lead. Heading for another 3 points as they look to continue their 100% record. Long ball looking for Gladwell, the substitute. Dealt with just about by Davies.
It's the type of balls that Molly Gladwell thrives on. Potentially a little bit skipped off the turf there to not enable her to get a little toe on that one. But those sorts of balls in behind to space, you will definitely be looking for more of them.
Here's Baron Clark to Hillier, back to Baron Clark. Some room for James. Thinks about the cross, delivers the cross. Looking for Gilroy. Well dealt with by Portishead, only as far as Blizzard. Baron Clark. Nice passage of play from the Cherries out to McGuinness. Just keeps it in. Jakowski with the clearance on the front post. Back with James again, who's had a really good game for Bournemouth. Seems to pop up everywhere, Dave, whenever the Cherries need her.
Absolutely.
Katie James.
Yeah, absolutely. All action player. Reads the game so well, enables her to be in positions when we need her to be.
Vendito looking to shoot from a long way out. Still waiting for her first Bournemouth goal. Saw the bright lights there. Be a throw into the Cherries. Taken by Gladwell. Here's Hillier. Didn't get the execution right on the pass to Gilroy. Blizzard. And Baron Clark. James. Finds Gilroy. Nice touch from Gilroy.
Another good move there. Another promising move. Bournemouth really started to up their levels in the last 10 minutes. Pinning Portishead back. Keeping the ball well. Opening up shooting opportunities.
Oh, that's lovely feet there from Baron Clark. Find room for the shot.
Just like to see them maybe in those positions there. We've seen James take some shots from range and Baron Clark. Just maybe try and make one or two more passes. Try and link off Gilroy in that instance there and get a runner closer to little tap-ins and shots from a little bit closer.
Davies with the goal kick. Not the greatest of headers. Gilroy gets in there, and is it going to drop? It is going to drop to Gladwell, who puts the ball in the back of the net, but the whistle's already gone for a foul on the goalkeeper Davies. And the home supporters are just starting to realise that it won't count. Portishead getting themselves in a bit of a mess at the back there. Barrett not dealing with it. Gilroy with the sliding tackle in. See a replay of that. It looked initially like Gilroy had won the ball. It's good goalkeeping from Davies, brave goalkeeping, 50-50 tackle. You can understand why the free kick was given. Still 2-0.
Absolutely. Davies extremely brave there, as you mentioned. Gilroy fully committed, substitute on, desperate to make an impact on the game, quite rightly going for that, and you know, a very fair tackle between both players there, and the goalkeeper just bouncing up slightly easier than Chloe Gilroy is, but another promising opportunity for Bournemouth.
And good to see them both back up on their feet as well. So free kick to Portishead Town. They can be really proud of their performance so far. Still another 13 minutes to go. This game, by no means over. Have struggled on the road so far this season. Portishead, heavy defeats at Bridgewater, 6-1, 7-1 at Keynsham, 6-1 at Moneyfields, 5-0 at Exeter last time out. Have managed to restrict the Cherries to just the 2 goals so far on their big day at the Vitality Stadium. Exactly that, and I know Steve touched on that in his pre-match press conference around, yes, a big day for us and Bournemouth, but also it's almost like a cup final for Portishead, and I think they've really shown that level of commitment to that today. Big praise for them. Captain Gemma Hillier heading off. It's a warm applause from the crowd. And Shannon Albury coming on, signed from Southampton Women FC. So we've seen all 7 of the Cherries' new signings now this afternoon. Albury taking up the centre forward position, and seeing Chloe Gilroy there just tackling for the ball, dropping into the number 10. Shannon, a goal scorer that's been scoring goals in our development squad a little bit this year to boost her game time. 9 goals there for us in 3 games, so bang in form. She's going to have a good 10 minutes plus stoppage time to try and get ourselves on the score sheet here at the Vitality Stadium. There's a first touch for Albury. Baron Clark back to Albury, just wide. Lovely feet from Albury to the byline. Can she find the cross? She can. Good defending in there from Jakowski. Well played there by Shannon, linking the play. We mentioned that earlier. Find your centre forward and link off them a little bit, and then a moment of great creativity. Baron Clark to deliver the corner. Signals to our teammates in towards Albury. Wins the header down. Couldn't keep it on target. Great corner, great delivery from Baron Clark. And that's what Baron Clark will give you. Really great technical player. Can strike from distance, great set piece taker. Just got crowded out each other a little bit there with Blezard close by. One back by Gladwell. Finds Gilroy, looking for Albury. The 2 substitutes trying to link up. Nearly, but not quite. Volleyed clear at the back by Davies. That's a good ball, looking for the run of Lindsay. Fantastic composure there by Amber to turn that potentially dangerous defensive situation into a counter-attack. We mentioned born in Poole, went to school in Camford Heath, Amber Traweek. There's a cross in there from Gladwell. Too much on it, couldn't get enough bend away from the goalkeeper. Comfortable for Davies. Works locally as well, does Amber, for a endurance sports retailer in Wimborne. And again, like Vendito, studying for a degree at the moment. Busy, these AFC Bournemouth women players.
That's the landscape of modern football, particularly the women's game at this level. So many of them occupying other jobs with the commitment of our training schedule that we have and playing as well. And we do our very best to look after the players, and the contract situation helps us obviously to do that as well. But a big credit to every player with the commitment and attitude they put into being an AFC Bournemouth women's player.
One back well again from James. Just pops up just as something was starting to develop there for Portishead to break up the attack. In that little pocket in front of the back four. Space and room for Baron Clark. Still Baron Clark. Shoots and saved again by Davies. And Portishead have their goalkeeper to thank for keeping the scoreline to just 2 in this second half. And still the search for that third for Bournemouth goes on.
Very impressive, the goalkeeper, and that's where the dual registrations, being with Bristol City, has enabled her to go out and get this extra game time and play in an arena like this on a big occasion.
Baron Clark will deliver the corner. Can the Cherries find a third? That's a good corner. It's headed down, it's headed in. There is the third for Bournemouth. And it's Helen Blizzard with her 9th of the season. And look at those celebrations. And more than 6,800 supporters inside the Vitality Stadium enjoyed that. Bournemouth 3, Portishead 0.
Great cross, great header. Ball into a really dangerous area across the front of the 6-yard box. Really whipped in, and Blizzard could make no mistake with a fantastic contact.
Big celebrations. Great delivery, great header. We've had to wait a little while. But on the balance of things, you have to say the Cherries probably deserving of that third goal.
It all comes just down to the quality of the cross there and delivery from Baron Clark. Whipped in with great pace, and that always makes it very difficult to defend, and you only need to make a good contact then for it to fly in the back of the net, and Blizzard certainly did that.
Long ball, looking for the run of Aubrey. Great running from Aubrey there. Very nearly kept it in. Looked lively since coming on.
The finals Cherries sub being readied here. Kelly Fripp coming on to replace Amber Trowick. Like for like positional swap here. Fripp bringing lots of experience. Came through this journey through the tiers with Southampton. And a great leader and personality in this group.
5 minutes to go here at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth in control, heading for a 9th win of the season in the National League. Continuing their 100% record, they'll stick at the top of the table. Exeter in action today as well. They're at home to Keynsham. 2nd against 5th, a tough game that one for Exeter. Cherries in a real battle with them for that one promotion spot at the end of the season. Portishead, it's just that final moment for them, that final pass, that final touch, which they can't quite find at the moment. Here's Abby Jones, who could quite easily have had 2 goals herself. And Fripp, first touch of the game, sends it out to the scorer of Bournemouth's 3rd goal, Blizzard, adding to that from McGuinness and Smith in the first half. And still the crowd sing. Given away by Baron Clark. And now Portishead will have a chance to try and break. Important tackle, sliding tackle from Blizzard.
Unable to capitalise there on a good opportunity, and unfortunately that's been a little bit of the story today for Portishead. Had some half opportunities to potentially open a goal-scoring opportunity, but have missed the final ball, or just not quite been able to match the physical attributes of the Bournemouth backline to break free.
Fripp does well initially, and then it's an important second tackle in there, just as it looked like she might be dispossessed. Cleared by Jakowski. Here's Baron Clark. AFC Bournemouth women currently based out at Ringwood, where they'll play the majority of their home games when they're not here at the Vitality Stadium. As we mentioned earlier, the next 3 to come at Ringwood, if you can get yourself down there to support the side. Lovely feet and lovely touch in there from Gilroy. Gets across in towards the front post, looking for Albury. Corner to the Cherries. No goal kick, says the referee. But Bill Foley pointing out in his programme notes that excited for the women's team to move in along with the first team and the youth set up as well to the new training ground at Camford next year when it's done and finished. I know there was an update recently by the club on social media. It's starting to really come together, and that will be exciting times.
Absolutely, and the club have been so supportive of the women. We can see that with the work that's gone into today, and the on-field stuff now will no doubt be the next phase in terms of that training structure and environment, and that's another exciting opportunity, and we want to make our homegrown players and players we bring into the building.
Here's Jones, deserves a goal, does Jones. It's spilt, not dealt with, and put in for 4. Chloe Gilroy. Second goal of the season. And that'll do it for Bournemouth, maintaining their 100% record, heading for a 9th victory in the league.
Looks like she might have injured herself
toppers
here as well. I think she collided with the post on her way in. Full commitment to the goal. Let's hope she's okay here. The physio is on.
And the physio's heading off, and Gilroy punches the sky and celebrates in the end with the supporters. Abby Jones with all the hard work. And Chloe Gilroy pounced on the rebound. Real striker's instinct. Bournemouth 4, Portishead 0. 3 points in the bag for the Cherries. And the goals just keep coming, don't they, for Steve Cuss's side? So 62 now this season. 46 in the league from just 9 games. Incredible stuff. Blizzard scored the 3rd there, just sweeping up at the back.
It's that never stop attitude that we've had, that relentlessness that we talk about a lot in training with all of our youth sides and senior sides. And that's been shown here with a strong finish, substitutes coming on and having an impact in the game, obviously with Gilroy scoring there. And that's exactly what we want, the mentality of our players, to be ready to impact the game at any time.
Blizzard finds the feet of James, looks up early, looks for the run of Albury. Just a little bit too much on the pass. About to head into stoppage time here at the end of the game. Time maybe for a 5th for the Cherries. Gilroy. Here's McGuinness. McGuinness into the feet of James, to the byline. Good defending at the front post, important defending by Jakowski. Albury was lurking. Corner to the Cherries. Great noise still inside the ground. Temperature dropping. Fans just starting to warm up.
Barrett, I think here struggling with cramp. It's been a huge effort from both sides physically. I think we forget how big this pitch is here and how much that demands, and the amount of effort that the Portishead in particular in that defensive line have put in. It's no surprise to see a little bit of cramping towards the end.
Gilroy on the goal line, occupying the goalkeeper. Everyone else lurking towards the edge of the 18-yard area. Baron Clark to deliver. Great corner again, and headed over this time by Albury. Second time she's managed to get her head on one of those crosses into the box. One on target, one over the bar.
Set piece delivery, something that's really improved as the game's gone on. We've seen the goal from the previous one. We've seen the first contact there from a great fast-paced delivery into the box.
Davies with the goal kick. Brindley, cut off by Vendito. Finds the feet of James. Driving run from James. Space just opening up in front of her. Finds Aubrey. Aubrey's got support in the middle through Gilroy. Gilroy was screaming for it. Important tackle again. Another corner to Bournemouth. They just keep coming for the Cherries at the moment. Portishead having to soak up some real pressure. 2 minutes of stoppage time gone. No fourth official here today, so I'm not sure how long we'll get at the end of this game. Referee Phoebe Horner's discretion now. Baron Clark to deliver. Can she find that right cross again? As Bournemouth search for a fifth at the end of this match. Baron Clark with the corner. Headed away by Barrett. Sliding tackle by Baron Clark. Solid tackle, you heard the crunch there. Brave stuff. Blizzard with the ball forward. James with another good tackle. Baron Clark to the edge of the box. Gilroy. Fripp. Baron Clark's seen an awful lot of the ball since coming on as a substitute. Here's James. Gilroy to her left. Here is Gilroy. James. Baron Clark with dummy and shot. Awkward one for Davies to deal with. Did well, did the Portishead goalkeeper. Dave, I'm going to push you for your player of the match.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one to choose. Been so much control and quality on view. But I'm going to go for Katie James as player in the match. I think seen a lot of the ball in midfield, looked creative, stopped a few of the Portishead counter-attacks as well. She picks the ball up here
Here is
finding
James,
those
and that's a lovely ball.
passes.
Looking for Aubrey, finds Aubrey. Good save again from Davies in goal for Portishead.
Would have been nice if she'd have tucked that in the back of the net, as I've just given Katie the player of the match for that one there. But I think James deserves it. There's been several great performances on a really good day for the side.
Nearly perfect timing. Here's Aubrey, is it? No, can't quite get there. Vendito with the throw-in. Down the line, looking for McGuinness, who hasn't seen quite as much of the ball since that switch from the left side to the right in this second half. After a really lively opening, hit the crossbar as well just before the half-time whistle.
Really important tackle there from James in the middle. There's a little overload down the side here with Anis Turner.
That's lovely feet from McGuinness. Baron Clark to her left and finds her. James, charged down, deserves a goal. James and Abby Jones, you'd say. There is the full-time whistle. Bournemouth 4-0 winners over Portishead Town in the National League. A 9th consecutive win at the start of this season to continue their 100% record and dominance at the top of the table. Goals from Maisie Smith, Gemma McGuinness, Helen Blizzard and Chloe Gilroy to make it 4. A pretty comfortable win for Steve Cuss's side. And 6,800 fans inside the Vitality Stadium have been treated to a real dominant performance from the Cherries. It's been a pretty good day all round. Dave Stadden.
Absolutely, and what's been great is we've been able to send the fans home really happy. 4 good goals. We know last time we played here, the good performance, we were unable to get them to cheer with a goal. Really pleased that we've been able to do that today. And what's been a very controlled performance, definitely the right side coming out with the 3 points, but huge credit to Portishead. Came here with a clear game plan, executed that really well, and to a player, they should be really pleased, and a management team of how well they conducted themselves and executed that plan. But a great day for AFC Bournemouth. not just the players on the pitch, all those that support around the team and the women and girls pathway and the main club here as well.
Let's take a look at the goals that have given that 4-0 win. Bit of a scrappy one, but Maisie Smith won't mind. Second attempt, she managed to bundle it home. And just have a look at those celebrations in front of the North Stand. The crowd enjoyed that one to get Bournemouth up and running. It was a really good initial save in there from Yasmin Davies. Maisie Smith able to pounce and continues her good goal-scoring form as well. Number 7 for the season for Maisie Smith.
Keeper slightly unlucky there, it bounces free, and we'll see another goal later on. We're slightly unlucky that it ricochets to a player, but we won't be complaining, and Maisie's on hand to certainly tap that in. And look at those celebrations and how much it means to say I've scored at the Vitality Stadium.
Big moment for Maisie Smith. And this was a lovely goal. All about cross in from Alicia Buckingham. Finished off at the back post by Bournemouth's now top goal scorer out nice with 12 for the season. Great cross, Dave.
Absolutely, a real moment of quality. And that's what we've been able to do with the investment from the new ownership here, is go out and get players that we feel are going to make us better and stronger and produce moments such as that. Great cross, great finish. Interesting, just the cross from slightly deeper, opening up that space that McGuinness can attack at the back post.
And they had to work hard for the third in the second half, Bournemouth. They had to wait for it. Came late on through Helen Blizzard. Powerful header.
Absolutely, great contact. And when you're that close out with that quality of delivery, you only need to get a solid contact on it. She does just that, and the keeper has absolutely no chance. And that really sort of relaxed the home side, and we were able to really press home extremely strongly in the final 15-20 minutes there.
Here's number 4. It was all about the work from Abby Jones in the build-up. Produced a good save from Davies.
Again, that one, just slightly unfortunate it falls straight to the Bournemouth player from the goalkeeper's point of view. But again, we won't be complaining, and Gilroy doing everything, including meeting up with the post on her way towards the goal to get that in the back of the net. And
yeah, so excited about the celebrations, wheeling off to go and celebrate with the fans, and missed the post.
Absolutely, she'll be feeling sore, I'm sure, after connecting with that one, and one I'm sure her teammates will be ribbing her for a little while, but I'm sure she won't mind. She can say she scored at the Vitality Stadium and really sent the fans home happy.
And this is what it's all about. So many of those 6,802 supporters have stuck around at the end of the game. 805 supporters, I should say, stuck around at the end of the game to celebrate with the Cherries players, who are spending lots of time signing autographs, posing for selfies, and that really is what it's all about on a historic day for AFC Bournemouth women. Dave, great to see.
Absolutely, and the players love this bit. They almost love this bit as much as stepping out on the pitch and getting to meet their fans and the families that they've got here today. And we forget that sometimes, that, you know, the families, this is a great reward for them and the journeys that they've supported their daughters on, coming up through divisions and playing on certainly nowhere near surfaces in arenas like this. This is what it's all about as a reward for them as well. And to see so many little girls and boys getting signatures and getting their shirts signed, that's what it's all about. And if one player is inspired to go on